Okay, but hands down, the hardest part about starting a YouTube channel is accounting for all the little mishaps that show up along the way. Yesterday, I tried starting this like 70 million different times, but then I just ended up sounding like a stuttering drunk that I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna do it the next morning. Besides, I hoped maybe the lighting would be a little bit better so that I don't look like a glowing alien. I don't know. I looked like yellowy and had that weird glow, and so it's 9 in the morning now, and hopefully it's a little bit better, but we'll see. Anyway, my name is Agatha, and what the heck am I doing? So yeah, yesterday I said I tried to film a video, but it just didn't work out. Half the time I looked like this jitterbug, and then the other half of the time I was stuttering over my words, and then you would just get, geez, I just cannot talk right now. And where, blah, blah, blah. And the, and, follow. It's like, what? What are you trying to say? It doesn't matter, because it's not like anyone can hear you or figure out what you're saying at all. So I just decided to re-record it. In fact, I think the only salvageable part about that video was this. First of all, I would just like to say that whoever said the hardest part of starting a YouTube channel is to just sit in front of a camera and talk is a liar. The hardest part is figuring out the lighting and the scenery. Because I spent like over an hour just trying to get this, and this is the best I could come up with. The absolute best. A bunch of lamps with a whole bunch of t-shirts, and I would show you, but the thing is, it was so hard, and this whole setup was so hard, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it if I even move the camera just a little bit. So this is the best I could do. This is the best background I could do. Whatever, alright? So I decided to start a YouTube channel, and so welcome to Insannatea. I swear, if I actually have a good intro, it's just going to be pathetic that I was able to go into After Effects and spend like $50 a month on all of this art programming, but then can't even buy decent lighting. I would just like to point out that I didn't use After Effects for my intro. I just used a couple of frames, and I actually need Adobe for my job, so that was a bit of an exaggeration. I'd be paying for it regardless, so yeah. Or a microphone other than this $10 one that I'm probably going to run into a bunch of different times and then destroy everyone's eardrums. It's fine. Anyway, so my name is Anna, and I decided to start this YouTube channel focusing mostly on a hodgepodge of different things that I'm interested in, but primarily focusing on books and art. And I thought what paired well with books and art was tea. So that was the tea part of Insannatea, except I don't drink tea, I drink coffee. But Insana coffee just, it doesn't work. So we're making do with what I have. Anyway, so in light of the idea that it's going to be a hodgepodge of things, mostly books and art, I decided to go based on this first video to be based on the books that are up next on my what to read list. Now, I'm sure nobody cares about all that, but you know what? One of these days I'm going to be a famous writer and comic artist, and it doesn't matter if nobody reads anymore. Who reads these days? Well, I do. And maybe there's going to be a niche of people who are going to be wondering, what was Anna doing on January 9th at 9:24 in the morning? Well, she had to leave to go to an appointment at like 9:45, so let's hope I get through this really quick. And I had a list of books that are up next on my what to read list, and don't want to give too much of a preview there. So let's just get started before I lose my socks and freak out because people are walking around me and probably overhearing all of this, and oh my gosh, it's freaking me out. Okay, so Agatha Christie's. And Then There Were None. That's right. I'm tackling the queen of mystery here. Read, the queen of mystery. I'm actually not into mystery at all. I just happen to really like the movies Knives Out. And I just saw the second one, so I was back in the mystery game of all of it and hoping that maybe I could give Agatha Christie a second chance because I tried reading her Mysterious Affairs at Styles and I just did not get into it. I read it, but I was like, I'll just not worry about that. But I hear this is like her best book, and so I figured I'd give it a shot. And okay, truthfully, I already finished it, but it was written into the script, so it's staying on the script. Anyway, so basically this is just about 10 people who go to this mysterious island, and one by one, they all start dying, and they have to figure out who the killer is before they all die, basically. Or can they? Ooh. Anyway, so that's the whole whodunit and all that, and you're just trying to figure out which one is the killer, and it's very mysterious. And I shouldn't be giving a book review right now, but I'll try giving one maybe later. So, book 1. Book 2, The Greenglass House. This is actually another mystery. I don't really read mystery, like I said, but there's this YouTuber called Alexandra Rosalind, and I don't watch a ton of her videos, but I know she likes Morgan Crow, and she also likes Howl's Moving Castle, and those are like my 2 favorite books. So my mom watches her a lot. I've seen her on in the background. I trust her opinion, and she mentioned this one and the next one on my book list, so when I saw them at the bookstore, I figured it was a sign. People are walking by. Why is it so hard to look over here? Like, I want to look here or there or anywhere else. Anyway, I took it as a sign, and so I decided I was going to take the plunge. This had also kind of been on my reading list from last year, but I just never tried reading it or getting the book at all. So it's a youth book about a boy named Milo who lives with his parents who are innkeepers in this smuggler's town, and it all takes place in, you guessed it, the Greenglass house. So it takes place over like Christmas vacation, so I'm a little late. It's January, but Milo wants to spend his vacation relaxing, and all these visitors show up and all have this like mysterious story, and they seem to all be connected to the Greenglass house in some way or other. So he and his new friend Meddy, I think her name is, Milo and Meddy must decipher clues to untangle the web of deepening mysteries to discover the truth about Greenglass house and themselves. So I read the first 8 pages. Seems really cute. Writing's really witty. I'm into it. Book the 3rd. Oh, did I say who was the last one? Greenglass House by Kate Milford. Book the 3rd. A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. I have no idea how to pronounce her name. As I said before, this was recommended by Alexandra Rosalind. Actually, this one caught my eye before even then. I swear, if I'm covering up that microphone, it's gonna suck. It caught my eye even before the video because I had seen it at Barnes & Noble, and I was immediately intrigued, but I was like, I have all these other books I need to read. It still wound up on my up next to read list. So this one takes place in a world where there's this thing called the Rupture, and it splits the world into different islands, and each are take place in have their own like time. It's like different worlds just miles away from each other. I don't know. It's a whole thing like that, and Ophelia is our protagonist who can, I don't know, she can like read the souls of different objects. I'm not sure. She can communicate with them, and she can travel through mirrors, and she's engaged to this guy named Thorn from the Dragon Clan. So she didn't want to marry him, but she's forced to marry him kind of thing, and she has to hide her identity. So it seems like this whole just journey, this fantasy journey that I'm really excited to read. So that is this one. It is book 1, and I don't know how many books there's gonna be, but I hope that I'll be into reading all of them. Up next is a book that as soon as I saw it, it just boggled my mind. I read the summary and I was immediately obsessed. Anyway, Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doer. This summary's trippy. It's about a girl named Anna who's an orphan back in the 15th century, and she's learning to read in Constantinople in this library, and she reads about Athon and how he wants to learn to fly into paradise. And outside the library there's this boy named Omir, and he is forced to fight in the army, so that's a siege going on in their land at that time. And then, in present day, there's this guy named Zeno who works at a library and is teaching kids to perform a play based on Athon's story. And hidden in the library is this bomb. So that's another siege going on in present day. And then, in the near future, on an interstellar ship, there is this girl who is copying down the story of Athon told to her by her father. So it takes place over just like different time periods, and all of them are obsessed with the story about Athon. And I am just so intrigued because it just seems so out there. It seems like Cuckoo. I don't know. So very excited about that one. Last book. I hope I'm still on time. Okay, I have like 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do Androids Dream of Electronic Sheep by Philip K. Dick. And this book, I really don't totally understand the summary of, but I know it was the book that inspired the movie The Blade Runner, which still means nothing to me because I haven't seen that movie or the new one, but my little brother is absolutely obsessed with both of them. Like, he would watch the movie all the time, and then he finally got into, I think this was the book that got him into reading more so, and so he was talking about it, and it got me really intrigued, and I thought it had been on my list since last year. I had told him I would read it, and so I figured I would give it a try. The summary still confuses me. It's like, takes place in a world where, I don't know, there's like a lot of people went extinct after, oh my gosh, World War I had killed millions, and there's a lot of extinction going on. There's androids, and androids are real enough that it's hard to tell whether or not they're people. And Rick Deckard was an officially sanctioned bounty hunter whose job was to find rogue androids and retire them. But when cornered, androids tended to fight back with deadly results. So it seems pretty short, honestly, and I'm really intrigued. My brother has compiled a very interesting set of books to read, so it's because of his interesting taste in books that really intrigued me and made me want to read the stuff that he reads. So that is the final book on my up next book to read list. I need a drink of coffee. A drink of coffee. But man, maybe I just don't talk a lot, but my voice sounds gravelly. Anyway, I can't believe I actually managed to get through that before my appointment, but those are the books that are up next on my list of books to read for all the people who find me in the future when I'm already a published author, or when I've done something crazy and people want to learn more about me, because yeah, that's totally realistic and going to happen. Anyway, so thank you for, nobody's gonna watch this, but I don't, whatever. Yeah, so I finally started this. I have no idea how to freaking end this.